future will hold for me. And you guys took that, grabbed.
Welcome to my channel, Aquastar Goddess. If you are new here, definitely subscribe. Hit that bell button so you can get notifications each and every time I upload a new video. And
lit it on fire and
you can like it. Don't play.
There's no way I can give you guys anything close to what
congratulations,
you guys.
kiddo. Welcome to my channel. Hopefully you doing wonderful. It is almost a new fucking year, girl. It's almost a new year. Should I need to be sending out some invoices and everything, don't I? It's 31. 1. Okay. Should. Yeah, we got 4 days. I need to be sending out invoices like a bitch. What's good, y'all? Welcome to my channel, Aquastar Goddess. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications each and every time I upload a new video. And obviously, smash the like button. Tonight, we're going to get into some readings, okay? Yeah, we're going to get into some readings. So we're going to go ahead and do those $5.55 per question if you're interested. Let's go into it. So before we do, though, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who have been with this channel for a long time, short time, new, old subscribers, all that good stuff. For those of you who still kick it with me, even when shit's getting crazy, when shit gets chaotic, and y'all still fucking fucks with me, okay? I fucks with that, okay? All right, so come on in. And let's figure this out here, honey. I was talking to, first off, I gotta say, I really do feel like there is a podcast coming on. Because if I'm being honest with you, there are so many ladies that I talk to, that I converse with. There's so many ladies that I talk to regularly or that I converse with. And when we converse, we have amazing conversations. And I know it looks like I'm like a one-sided mind type of person, but I'm really not at all. I love to hear different opinions, at least to explore my concepts to determine whether or not I feel that the way I feel is the way I feel, So I want to bring in other people, other conversations where other people can actually express how they're feeling. That way we have a well-rounded view of some of the conversations that we have on this channel. So a podcast is really coming. I mean, it's got to come. Like, it just doesn't make sense to not come. Because, like, first off, I was talking to my nail tech today, right? Yeah, she gave me a quick little buzz down, you know what I mean? A little basic, but it was still, she still goes off. She still went off, And we were having a conversation about, like, the change in our communities. And one of the things that she said, which is really, really good thing that she said, but I still see it happening, right? It's like, so we were talking about, and I was telling her, I was like, look, at some point, the collective, which just means like all people, not particularly any specific group of people, but like all people are really going to at some point come together and you're going to light this government up. And she was just like, well, I don't know about that because people is complacent. And I was like, I feel you. Like, honestly, it took me a minute because I kind of sat there for a second and thought about it. Yes, she's right. She's right in the way that we have been very complacent and very comfortable to not to not rock the boat. But that does not mean that what I see, I don't see, honey, because I still see it. But I felt her opinion. It's just still, I see it coming. So I know it's happening. It's going to happen. It's got to happen. It's the only way. It's the only way. So it's going to happen. It's a matter of when, right? So in addition to that, there are so many other conversations that I just have with, other beautiful women who have like great minds, who think, who are thinkers, not just somebody who just follows the status quo and then just deals with that, but people who think outside of the box, or people who think just they have their own way of thinking, they have their own way of being. So I really want to be able to have those conversations live where you guys can pick up those various different point of views and how we not only maybe have a different point of view, but how we are able to understand one another, and how we are also able to, find some commonality, even if we have opposing opinions, right? And so I find that that is probably just next step. I think that's just the next step. So yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new, definitely subscribe, hit that bell so you can get notifications each and every time I upload a new video. I won't promise you guys a podcast ASAP. I won't say that it's going to be an ASAP thing because I got so many I got little projects that I'm working on right now just to kind of supplement some of the income that I've lost in 2024, right? So I've got some little mini projects that have to be off the ground, but some of those projects are actually not super time consuming or super, taking up all of my energy. So that's the thing I really needed to do. It's something that I've been needing to do for the last few years is implement some things that I'm going to be implementing right now. So anyway, I still think though, we got to look out for a podcast with the Aquastar Goddess group because like I said, there's so many women that I talk to that I really respect their opinions. We have various conversations and sometimes we agree and sometimes we don't, and that's okay. It's important also for you guys to understand that sometimes you don't have to fucking agree with somebody in order to still be moving in the same direction. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't gotta always agree on every fucking thing. And so I want you guys to understand how that actually works in real time, in real life, right? So yeah, that's just something that we're gonna do. Shout out to my nail tech because she gave me a basic bust down, but boo, she went off. Okay, all right, on a basic set. Okay, she still went off. So thank you, love you. Okay. Anyway, let's get into a quick collective, and then if you guys are interested, we can do some questions. For sure. All right. First off, we got the Empress, and she's not showing up at all. Like, she's like, girl. So we got the Empress. The Empress is a new beginning, new foundations, new beginnings, setting up new concepts, fertility. But mostly the energy that I'm really getting here is a new fucking beginning. And a new beginning in such a way, if you look at the background, if you look at the scenery, hold on. If we look at the scenery here, this is all red and like little yellows and oranges. First off, yellow to me represents Sun card, which represents happiness. Okay. So it represents happiness, the yellow. But then we got the red, which represents that fire. It can represent passion. This is the type of red that is representing straight fire, like straight, like scorching the earth. Okay. I'm scorching this motherfucker. Okay. Interestingly enough, we do still have the water though, right? So you can scorch the earth, but you can't scorch the water, right? You can try, and it might look like you did it, but it ain't gonna go too far because it's water. So we still have that level of emotionality here, okay? So we've got the Sun card energy with the yellows, the yellow energy. This is also representing Oshun, okay? And if we pull out our book, hold on, let's pull out our book real quick because let's understand that. Now listen, I know B. Simone did talked about she don't do this and she's not doing this no more with the crystals and the sage and all that shit. But let me tell you something. Let me fucking tell you something. Let me tell you bitches something. First off. Okay, and sorry. Okay. Like, listen, I'm not trying to be rude when I say that, if I'm being honest with you. A long time ago, I didn't play around with the word bitch, but now I have a little fun with it. I really do. I really do. But back in the day, I didn't fuck around like that. What? You couldn't even address me halfway like that. You couldn't even talk like in no way like that. And you still can't. But let's move on. Oshun. So Oshun, her color is yellow. Her date of the week is Saturday. Her number is 5 and multiples of 5. So Oshun is the deity of the river waters and is also seen as the embodiment of love and sexuality. Understand that the Empress and Oshun meet in some ways because the Empress is the embodiment of love, abundance, and she is also fertility, which is associated with sexuality. So keep that in mind, right? She's a symbol of gaiety, music, the arts of human pleasure. Okay, she represents the joy of life, and in the joy of life, happiness, enjoyment, right, with the yellow. What makes life worth living? Oshun is the part of the patron of gold, and all wealth is hers to give. So that's what the Empress represents in the tarot deck. Okay, the tarot deck literally represents, hold on, the patron of gold, and all wealth is hers to give. Okay, so even the queens can't The queens can talk shit. They can be mad. But when it come down to it, if a decision or a ruling needs to come to play, it's me that makes it, honey. Okay, so you can try me if you want to, but I'm not petty like you bitches. Like y'all sit down there and be petty if you want to be. I'm not petty. Okay. So, but understand that when you wanna get some wealth, boo. Oh yeah, you still gotta come for me about that. Okay, you still gotta come holler at me about that. Okay, you still gotta go. You still gotta spin the block around here. So you can talk all the shit you want to talk when you're in your land. Okay, and don't think I can't hear you because I got people around there. All right. But anyway, Oshun. So we're feeling like Oshun is coming in today. Okay, but keep in mind this is representing all of the zodiac signs. So we got all the 12 zodiac signs, 12, 13, whatever you consider zodiac signs. We got all the 12 zodiac signs represented in this circle or the cycle of life. Okay. So, we got a fresh new beginning. First off, this is the first card that pops out. First card that pops out. So this is starting the reading. Okay. So we have the energy of new beginnings. We have the energy of fertility. We have the energy of abundance, flow. Okay. Access. Son of Wands is next. Okay. The Son of Wands, which in the Empress card, we can see the red in the back. To me, this is all wands. Look, she's got her wand. The red in the back is all wands because what are wands representing? Sun signs, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So this is the sun sign. These are the flaming signs. But I want y'all to know that just because the Empress looks nice and pretty and cute and sweet, she will scorch the fucking earth. That's why the goddamn red's in the back. Just be honest. Just be clear. So to some degree, I got to tell y'all, look, what my nail tech said today was real. What she said was real, that people are too fucking complacent because we don't live in no third world countries, right? I'm a verbatim. I'm not going to verbatim. I'm going to paraphrase what she said to me. She was like, well, we in America, so it's more comfortable here. In third world countries, they ain't got no choice. They ain't got shit to lose. Here, we got shit to lose. So what she said was true. It was very insightful, right? As it relates to whether or not people are going to have some kind of uprising, right? There is truth to what she's saying with certain groups of people. But certain other groups of people really can't afford to, not afford to, certain other groups of people can't afford to have these big blowouts without at least some support and some allies. But there are some groups of people in which are going to find out that you didn't come down this motherfucker, you didn't come down my goddamn road. And not only did you come down my goddamn road, but you displaced me, you misplaced me, you renamed me, you took my namesake, you took my land stake, and then you told me I was from somewhere else. So in that regard, I felt her, like, yep, you're right. But now that I take a little time to think about it. And now that I thought about it, and my mom been getting in my DM today. In my text message today, my mom been on her little thing today. She's doing little rounds of shit, talk to the family about what's going on. And reality, what's happening here, what I'm seeing, the coming together of it all, is that the true people of this land have not recognized that they're the true people of this land. When that happens, that's when we scorching the goddamn earth, bitch. I don't give a fuck what burns down. We burning it all down because we built it anyway. So while my girl is right, there is also some key elemental factors in there that we also have to see and pay attention to, right? So like I said, I cannot wait to actually, matter of fact, I was going to say that I was going to wait a while to get this whole podcast thing started, but I think we might have to go a little faster. I think I might have to go and get some investors, some initial investors that started on this just to get it going and rolling and stuff like that. I got the location. I got a potential setup for things to get rolling, but I think we're going to have to get that going because it's necessary for us to have these conversations. And it's necessary for us to have these conversations in real time. Not only in real time, but so that we can gather an understanding of what we are actually talking about here. And while sometimes we forget, because we've been taught, listen, they put us in school for K through 12, right? K through 12. And then college. So when you go to college, when you are a freshman to a senior, depending on whether or not you go, college can be anywhere between 4 and 12 years, depending on what level of education you need and you want to go for. But what they've done is that for anywhere between 12 and 27 years, 28 years, potentially 30, they're teaching you against who you really the fuck are. And so that is the missing piece of the puzzle that I know for sure that my girl wasn't connecting, right? And I didn't mention it to her earlier because I kind of just sat on it for a second. I kind of I was kind of just thinking for a second. And I was like, there's some truth to what she's saying. But then mom was like, ding, 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 like, don't play now. Hold on. Because hold on. So what I know for sure is that spirit is working. Spirit is working overtime, and spirit will continue to work overtime. We got the Ace of Wands here. There is going to be a new beginning. Matter of fact, a new beginning is already here with the Empress card. We started with a new beginning. Not only do we have new beginning, but we also have passionate fire. And when I say scorch the earth, I really mean that shit. And I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm going to leave that right there. But first off, let's go back to this. Hold on. Let's go here real quick. We're going to take a quick break on this little tarot reading, because we want to ask the question, like, what is going on? What is going on? Let me ask you guys a quick question really quickly as we go into this. Hold on. Can I put an emoji in this? Let me put an emoji in there. Can I put an emoji in there? Welcome to my channel, Akasai Goddess. If you are new here, definitely subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications each and every time I upload a video. Hit that like button. Hold on. Oh, she can do emojis. So first off, let's do this. I want to thank you guys first off for tuning into my channel anytime you do, and anytime each and every time you have done so. I understand that your time is valuable, and if you choose to spend that time with me, man, let me tell you, my appreciation is a real thing. Okay, it's a real thing. So I just want to let y'all know that first off. But let's find out. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Is MAGA imploding? Now I took a break from the tarot reading, but this is actually ANN. Hold on, let me edit this real quick. Let me edit this real quick. Okay, hold on. Is maggot? Are the maggots imploding? Are the maggots imploding? Are the maggots imploding is the question I got to have. Now, let me ask you why. Because listen. So, I don't know if y'all heard, but recently, Elon Musk has gone on his own little path of destruction, okay? And he has decided that, the immigrants and the immigrations have brought things to this economy. And so now he has caused an internal issue within the maggot party, okay? And so he has gone on to even criticize and depublicize, critical maggot party members, such as, I can't remember what this lady's called, but it started with an L. She's unimportant. That's what I know. Okay, she's very unimportant. Even though she seems to be important to them, but she's unimportant to us. So that's what all that matters. Okay, because we the creators. Okay. So anyway, moving forward. So Elon Musk has posted something about H1B visa immigrants are important to the society. Now, one of the things that I think is very interesting that they keep on keeping this out the conversation. Because somebody that went online and said, "Oh, it was the Europeans who built America." In what time frame are you in? What land of imagination are you saying this shit? Because never were y'all ever building shit. It was on the back of my ancestors that this motherfucker got built. So if I'm being honest and real with you bitches, we can burn this bitch down. Like I said, scorch the fucking earth. I encourage you to teach your children who the fuck they are. I'm too serious right now. Because these maggots think that they come up in here to talk, oh, it was the European American who built. You ain't built shit. You motherfuckers couldn't even go outside because your skin was burning up. Don't even try it. But they continue to refuse to admit that or to speak those words out loud. So in reality, I want to say this, and I've been saying this. Listen, in all honesty, for us, for my community people, we sitting this one out. Y'all can have that fight inside y'all own little system. Go ahead and have that fight. Because in reality, it's not that important to us that y'all are fighting. It's hilarious as fuck. It's funny as fuck. It is funny as fuck. But it is not something that is going to cause us internal issue that y'all are imploding or continue or look like y'all imploding right now. And maybe you're fucking not. Maybe you're actually not imploding from the inside. That's not really the point. The point is, how long is it going to be before you guys actually begin to speak the truth on who you are, what you are, and what you have done? And at this point, we done took ourselves out the chat. Okay. We weren't really in the chat, but we brought ourselves out the chat. This is just for those little sprinkle of people that was in the chat. We brought ourselves out the chat. And now Elon Musk has entered the chat, and Elon Musk has decided that he is going to single-handedly fight some sort of battle with the maggots. Okay? So my question to you, and my only question to you today, are the maggots imploding? And if they are imploding, what does that mean to you? How should you use that information or that energy moving forward? I will say that there is a time winding down to where the people of this nation have to understand that they have stolen land from the people who are still inhabiting it. And while they think that their control is something that is immortal, it is not so. It is not so. And so I just want to call to my counterparts, my constituents. I call upon you to recognize who you are. I call upon you to see the beauty and the blessing that you have been so many. I call upon you to recognize the creation, the creations that you have created for a group of people who think that they are always imminently going to be having their foot on your fucking necks. Sometimes y'all get a little scared. I get it. Sometimes y'all get a little wigged out. I understand, especially when we have these types of conversations. But in reality, when they have waged war against you, are you going to let them just kill you without defending yourself? I ain't gonna fight with y'all. I'm gonna leave it alone. Moving forward, I think we're done with the maggot conversation. I just wanted to pose the question: are the maggots imploding? Okay, great question. Okay, just pay attention to what's going on with them for a little second. It's not something that you want to put too much attention to. If I'm being honest with you, because it's not really that important. Okay, but from time to time, just take a look and see what's going on over there. Okay. Alrighty, so now we're gonna move forward. Now listen, here's what I really think. Oh, let me do something real quick. Hold on 1 second. First off, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did in the live or in the replay, no matter, doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and move forward. In this next portion, I'm gonna go back to the reading. I'm gonna go back to the reading, but I have to say a couple of things about that because I did notice that in the news that the maggots look like they're upset with each other right now. And it's like, well, what are y'all upset about? You know, like ultimately it looked like y'all got what y'all was asking for. And here we are. We're here right now. And so, you know, now Elon Musk is like, now they fighting amongst themselves. Okay. But let savages do what savages do. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Don't mind your business. Mind your business. Okay. Let savages do what savages do while you quietly organize. And that's what's important here. All you got to do is work on what you got to work on. We're not focused on them wholeheartedly. We look from time to time and then we keep pushing on what direction that we going in, because what we've seen overall is that we don't have those allies that we thought that we had, right? And I think we've always known. I'm sure we've always known. But the reality is that when you have to admit this, when you have to accept this, when you have to receive this information, it's a totally different story from when you're guessing at it. And we're not guessing anymore. We are fully and completely aware that the maggots of the earth over time have turned all of society against us. And so with that information, we have to be able to use it to create new beginnings for ourselves, to create new futures for ourselves. And do not mistake, my people. Do not mistake. You have been the one with the tenacity the whole fucking time. Do not mistake. You have been the one with the creation, the ability to create the whole damn time. I want you to know this. I want you to see this. And I need you to be aware of this, because in reality, who can be even existing in the way that they're existing without you? Who's greater than you? Answer that question. When I ask you the question, who's greater than you? Only thing I should be hearing from you is nobody. When I ask you the question, who's greater than you? Only answer I want to hear to that is nobody. Who's greater than you? Nobody. While society may have, and trust me, they have had ancient loads and loads of campaigns, propagandized across the world to make you feel like you're less than you are. Don't make me stand up. Get this goddamn chair out the way. What? What you say? All right. Look. There have been campaigns. There's been propaganda. There has been ancient times, hundreds of years, where they want to tear you down and make you feel like you're less than who you are. But when I ask you the question, who's greater than you? What's your answer, Kyrie? Who's greater than you? Come here, son, so I can punch you in the face. Nobody is your answer. Who's greater than you? Kyrie! I'm gonna punch you in the face. When I ask you the question, who's greater than you? I want to hear you say nobody. My son says LeBron. Of course, LeBron can play basketball better, But who's greater than you? Nobody. None of these people on this earth, on this land, could have done any of the things that they've done without you. You need to understand that. They don't need to understand it. They already know it. That's why they do everything they can do. Every campaign they get an opportunity, they trying to make sure that you think that you ain't nothing. They want to make sure that you think you ain't shit. They got agendas, 20-year plans, 30-year plans to make you feel like you ain't shit because they don't need you to know that you are all that there is. So when I ask you the question, who's greater than you? What are you going to say? You should be saying nobody. Because there's nobody greater than you. All of these people on this earth could try to pretend, say, they propagandize, they put news out. I was just watching this. Listen, I watched this kid called The True Captain. Hold on. This little kid, love his channel. He looks at old racist content and he just critiques that. And all he's looking at is content that was created racially with a racial agenda to make you feel less than you are. The beauty industry, they got lightening creams and shit like that to make you feel like, oh, you can only be beautiful if you've got bright, light, white skin. That was a propagandized campaign. You understand? Listen. Here's why. Listen, it all came together multiple years ago for me when I started recognizing marketing is every fucking thing. Because that's all they do. All they do is market to you. And they spend billions of dollars to do this on a day-to-day basis just to make you feel like you ain't shit. But in reality, you built this goddamn place. So don't let nobody come up in here and tell you you ain't shit. I don't give a fuck who it is. And they can go. As far as I'm concerned, you can go back to your home. As far as I'm concerned, you can go. So I want to ask you one more time, who's greater than you? When I ask you that question from here on out, I want you to say nobody. Your inside, your internal, your mind, when you ask yourself who's greater than me, nobody. When I ask you the question who's greater than you, your mind should say nobody. Why is that? Because it's necessary. Listen, they got campaigns, ages and ages and ages of campaigns to try to make you feel like you less than you are because you like to eat watermelon. Meanwhile, watermelon is one of the most healthy fruits on the fucking planet. It'll keep you alive. You fucking serious? They come in here talking about, oh, Europeans built America. No, the fuck you didn't, bitch. Your bitches couldn't go outside. It was too goddamn hot. You was gonna burn the fuck up. Like the witches. You know how in the Wizard of Oz, the Green Witch, when water hits her, she like shrivels up and died. That's how them motherfuckers was. When you look, I watched this video one time where there was like a whole bunch of Caucasian people outside and they was on the beach or some shit like that. And it was like old, it was like way old Caucasian people, by the way. And they all looked blistered and hot and burnt the fuck up. I mean, their skin was like red hot, like you could tell they was blistering up. Like that was just painful spirits for them to be outside like that. Now, all I'm saying is just put the goddamn respect where the fuck is due. Give credit where it's due, right? All right, moving forward. I'm done with this conversation. But I just want to ask you, who's greater than you? Nobody. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing else. Well, maybe LeBron ain't my son. I'm going to go punch him in the face when we done here. You know, I ain't going to punch him in the face for real because I don't hit my kids, but I'm just saying. I'm going to look at him real sternly. You know what I mean? I'm going to look at him real stark. I'm going to give him real hard eye contact, you know? Okay. So I got to work on him and my daughter and I got to work on my kids with that as far as like, you know, when I ask them that question, who's greater than you? The only answer I want to hear is nobody. I don't care if somebody's thinner than you, lighter than you, has longer hair than you. I don't care about none of that. Who's greater than you? Only thing I want to hear from you is say nobody. Period. Okay. All right. So let's move forward. So listen, I've got, let me see what I've got. I have some questions here. And let's move forward with a live read. So let's go back to our collective read. It's interestingly enough, the collective read kind of brought me to some other energies for just a second, but it's needed. It's needed. Because you know what? The conversation that I had earlier today was true. She was 100% on point. She was right. I don't know why I be listening to music like this, like blasting it. Like, knowing damn well they gonna goddamn block the shit out this video when I'm done. So let's get to the collective read. Welcome to my channel, Star Goddess. If you're new here, definitely subscribe, hit that bell, so you get notifications every time I upload a video, and smash the like button. No, this is not a racist channel. However, this is a channel that does let you know that you are valuable, okay? And so understand that when I'm having a conversation with my folks, it ain't your business. If you ain't my folks, it ain't your goddamn business. Okay, so go on and step out, all right, and then move on. Okay, come on back when it's your turn, which is right now. Collective read. Let's go. Alrighty, so we've got the Empress card here with the Son of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Now, also, I want to let you guys know, if you want to join this live, you may absolutely do so. If you've got something to share with this in this video, then share it. Hey, C, how you doing, babe? Then share it. Come tune in, ask your questions, or just add some commentary to what we've discussed, or anything that you want to come in and talk about. Come on in and talk about it, okay? Listen, I want to say something. I just want you guys to understand that, you know, you are welcome here, and you're welcome to share your opinion. You're welcome to share your conversation. Understand that I'm not just a one-track mind person. I'm open to hear other conversations and other topics, unless it's anti-blackness. If it's anti-blackness, then fuck you and your mama. And I hope both of you go and die. I hope you singe in the middle of the fucking earth where there's a ball of fire there. I really do. And as a matter of fact, I hope that they release you in space and then you hit the sun and then you like totally disintegrate and it cease to exist. That's how I feel about anti-blackness. But if you're not anti-black, welcome. How you doing? Come on through. Let's go. The Devil card, crossing. Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Listen, sometimes the Devil card is fucking needed. Like we shun the Devil card, but why would we shun something that is a part of our nature? We shun the Devil card like, oh, it's the devil, this and that and the third. That's why, because you know why? They taught us against everything that is natural. In life, there is light and there is dark. Period. Because, you know, you can go to Alaska for 6 months and it will be daytime. But then you can go to Alaska for 6 months and it will be nighttime. Okay? Every day that a cycle, a 24-hour cycle will always result in daylight and darkness. It is a part of our being. So why do we pretend it's not available? It's not present. That's not healthy. Okay? So we have to be willing to embrace what darkness comes in, and we have to be willing to learn how to understand how it operates in our lives, right? And the reality is that it may operate differently in everybody's lives. If you were here probably 2 weeks ago, we discussed the 12th house, I believe, of your zodiac. And in that zodiac, that was one of the occult measures. So what you can see and understand is that we all have very different occultic abilities. This is present. I don't give a shit what B. Simone is talking about. Okay? I don't give a shit what people in specific churches pretend like this stuff is not present in the Bible. It's present because it's a part of who you are. It's about understanding that, accepting that, and learning how to use that in your life in a way that benefits you, in a way that is that's beneficial to you in your life. It's not about taking it too far. You're just not like the super shaman. You ain't no shaman. No problem. But at least understand the things that are there to protect you. At least understand the things that are there to help you be able to materialize the fruits of your labor without harm. Another thing I want to be very clear about is that oftentimes when the certain groups of people understand that there's wokeness, they have a whole issue with woke. They have an anti-woke campaign going right now. I don't know if y'all seen it, but I seen it, and it was some bullshit. Why would you not want me to be awake and aware? So they want, in other words, they want you to be asleep. They want you to be docile. I don't want you to be docile, right? Because in docility, what you get is you get a lot of, that's how the oppression becomes normalized. So oppression has been normalized because of the anti-wokeness. Okay, so be aware of what's going on here. One of the ways in which they shut down and close down and silence your wokeness is with the Bible and religion. Not to say that the Bible is completely off, but the way in which they use it against you is a problem. So sometimes that darkness needs to come out, okay? Moving forward. Clear, concise. What's next? We've got the 8 of Cups. Sometimes you got to walk away. You got to walk away from the bullshit, you know? Don't let social media influencers influence you against yourself. You see how the maggots, I'm going to call them maggots from now on, okay? You see how the maggot party, right now, it feels like they're imploding right now, right? Of course, they might figure it out in the future, but right now they're imploding. And the maggots are fighting and you know, they're eating their own skin, basically. Don't do that to yourself. Once again, I gotta show you, the Empress card comes out again. We already have the Empress card here. So now we got a double Empress here. So this means it don't matter which realm you possibly can jump into. This don't matter what timeline you jump into. This don't matter what it look, what you think and what you feel. Either way it goes, the Empress is here in present. First off, we got a Shun energy, the goddess of wealth. We already know that the Empress is about fertility and about abundance and about creation, new beginnings, fertility. I'm not sure if she's Hathor or if she is something like that. I think it's Hathor that is the goddess of fertility. Okay. So you're walking away and you're walking to your own abundance. And this is what I see in a collective group. Honestly, in our collective group, that's what we've been doing. We done seen what they done did this election season, and we said, oh, y'all really on this shit, okay? So let me just go on and do what I got to do over here while y'all focus on your own shit, which is why they're imploding, okay? Because when we focus on what they're doing, like hardcore and hard time, that's when they have the power. Because here's why. We're focusing on them, which we give them spiritual energy. When we just completely not focus on their ass and we focus somewhere else, they don't got the spiritual energy that they usually have when we focus on them. This spiritual game is not. Listen, it is so many ways in which I can see the spiritual workings of these group of people. And while I understand, listen, I'm gonna keep listen, my mom right now. Hold on, let me push pause. My mom right now is on this original people, Hebrew Israelite type stuff, to some degree. I don't know if it's completely that, but right now she's on this know who you are tip, and I feel it. It's necessary. But she don't know. Well, she knows, but I'm her daughter, first off. So, and I'm gonna see what she's doing, and I'm gonna do this to my degree, right? To my degree, we here on this spiritual tip. We're gonna keep up on this astrology. We're gonna keep up on this tarot. We're gonna keep up on the spiritual stuff. And for a minute, I was about to be like, nah, I'm gonna let it go. You know, for a minute, I was really considering like maybe I should just, not do this and stuff like that, and this and that and third. Not for no religious reasons or religious purposes, but just for the fact that I just wasn't sure, like for a little second. But nah, in reality, there's levels to everything, right? And so what my mom is talking about, that's like the next level to the Christianity, right? That's like the next level from there. And then what I do is almost so my mom might look at this as, oh, I don't know if that's the right way, but in reality, listen, all you doing right now when you teaching certain things is you're teaching the information to people who don't know it. I know that information. I've never been unaware that we are the original people of this land. So you talking about Native Americans, we them, we that. I've never been unclear about that. I've always been very clear about that, right? I've always been very clear about that. So that's not a question that I have. So then what do you do to a people? What do you do about it when a group of people have come in and told you that you're not from here? You are from somewhere else. This is not what you own. We own this. And they basically come in and disenfranchise your whole system. You got to look at the inner workings of what they've done. What they have done is magic. I don't care what nobody say. The Bible, the way in which they use the Bible. I'm not saying the Bible as a whole, but the way they use the Bible. Food, music, news is magic. And sometimes people think I'm crazy. And that's cool. But hey, I got years and years and years of proof that when I look crazy 1 year, 2 years later, ain't that what I said? That's exactly what I said. It is magic what these people are using. So even though we have to teach a lot of their people have to know the actual basic baseline information and foundational information. I got to go a step further and teach y'all how to fucking protect yourself. So when I see campaigns where B. Simone was talking about, oh, I'm not going to be into the sage and the crystals and stuff like that no more. That's cool, baby. Go do you. But don't teach people away from the shit that they need to know. It doesn't. I'm not telling you have to use all the tools. These are just tools, right? Tarot, astrology, crystals, sage. Those are tools. All tools. You're not going to need to have all the tools, but sometimes you don't know what you're working against. And I'm very clear with the community that I am in that we don't, that as a whole, we have not been aware of what we working against. These niggas in the music, these niggas on the TV, they on the internet. Every way in which they can use, they in the food. They in the juice, they in a drink, honey. They in a drink, they in the juice, they in a drink. Any way that you can think of that these people can try to take you for a fool and use yourself against you, they have done that. Understand, I don't care what anybody says. You are a spiritual being first. Because before you was in your mom's belly, you was a spirit. Before you became a human little baby, you was a spirit. You are a spiritual being first. They are using the spiritual realm and the first off, they're using the physical realm to impact your spiritual realm because it impacts your thoughts, which then impacts your spirit. As above, so below. As within, so without. How you feel about yourself, what you think about yourself, what you think about the people around you, what you think about your connections. Everything you think and feel has been propagandized against you. That is magic. I don't care what anybody says. And maybe right now you're like, this bitch is crazy. But in 4 years, you're going to come back and be like, damn, she was on some shit. I'm telling you right now. It's the strongest magic. It's got you believing it, one, which means that it further as above, so below. We create in our minds what we think, what we feel. And that is what becomes a present physical thing and a physical being. We talk about the law of attraction all the time. So I love you guys. First off, ain't nobody greater than you. I need you to know. I'm not here to teach you to be a buffoon. That's what you've been learning a lot, is how to be a fucking buffoon. I'm not here to teach you how to be a buffoon. I'm here to teach you how to be a god or a goddess, period. And you can argue with your mama. Okay? As above, so below, as within, so without. And they also use the correspondence of the north. First off, the north. The north is the ancestral realm, the physical realm, the pentacles, right? That is your physical space, your physical being. Then we got the east, which is the air, which is your mental space, which is your thoughts, your thinking, okay? Then we got the south. The south is your fire, your passion, your spirituality, your spiritual body. Then we got the west, which is your water, which is your emotions, okay, which is your feeling body. All of those things come together to create who you are. But remember, when you think a thought, as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything you think on the inside is going to appear to you on the outside. And everything you see on the outside is a reflection of what may be inside. I am not here to teach you how to continue to hate your fucking self. That's what these bitches been doing. They've been teaching you how to hate your goddamn self. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That's men, the black man, that's teaching the black man to hate a black woman. Why would you do that? When the black woman is the only being on this earth that embodies the mitochondrial DNA, which is the Eve gene, which means that she can create any of the recessive alleles that you find out around here, any blonde hair, straight hair, blue eyes, it all come from a black woman. Why you want to play? But they don't want to tell you that. I'm gonna tell you, who's greater than you? No fucking body, and you need to know that. So what my nail tech said today, she was right when she said that we've all kind of become very complacent. Unless she said it in different words, but she basically said that you motherfuckers are complacent. I'm here to get you a little bit understanding that you can't be complacent anymore. Because these motherfuckers have been intentionally aiming at your neck. And sometimes we would second guess it, right? We would second guess it. That's what they call Stockholm syndrome, right? Stockholm syndrome. Your kidnappers kidnap you, and you favor, huh?
Love your master.
You love your master, right? But when your kidnappers kidnap you and you begin to favor your kidnappers because they have indoctrinated, they've incepted your mind. So we got Stockholm syndrome, and that's the fuck this has been. But now, 2024, 2025, I don't think we got that Stockholm syndrome. I think we're starting to understand. We're starting to come out of the gaslight season. You know what I mean? We're starting to come out of this shit like, oh shit, these niggas don't fuck with us for real. And so now you can see that with this election. So that's representative of what we are looking at and what we can see. And I want you to know something. Hold on. First and foremost, what's my question? And what's your answer supposed to be? Oh, no, I had to delete this motherfucker. Let me create another one. Hold on. Kyrie, who's greater than you? Right answer. Say it, son. And don't say what you previously.
He's chewing right now.
Oh, he's chewing?
Yeah, he's trying to finish.
Is that why he's doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, dramatic ass. Yes.
I don't know where you get that from.
You, for sure.
How dramatic was you when you said that? LeBron.
Kyrie, come here, son. Come here, son.
No.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Answer to go.
Me, nobody.
When I ask you the question, who's greater than you, the only answer I want to hear from you, motherfuckers, mentally, emotionally, telepathically, psychically, whatever the fuck, is nobody. There's nobody greater than you. And while I understand that can be difficult sometimes to grapple with, because we've been taught so many things, we've been seeing the news, we've been seeing the constant reminder that there are other people who got they foot on our necks. That's because we allowed them to. As above, so below, as within, so without. I want you to understand that the reality is that there's nothing here that even exists without your participation. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. All right, so I'm sorry for taking up a long time. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck that. I'm not sorry for telling you how beautiful and how wonderful you are. Unapologetic. You are fucking absolutely wonderful and beautiful. And you need to know it. And you need to accept it and fucking receive it. Hold on 1 second. I'm push pause on y'all. All right, so listen, guys. If you bear with me 1 second, I'm just gonna play a good song for you guys. I have to go and do something just real quick, so just bear with me, like so fast, like just So fast. Just bear with me 1 second. I will be right back. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. I'll be right back, okay? That wasn't the song. Here it is. No, don't run.
Yeah, okay. I get the lesson.
No. No. Here. I'll put it on. I get it. I'm not trying to dance. Yeah, that's true, but also seeing like, listen, when you start buying food, tell me. Is it? I don't feel like that. I had to get up real close. Like I
did too. That's why
had to get up real close. So
We said, I couldn't really make it work. Mountain Sprite last day.
it's the very last, right?
Right, by 30 minutes.
So you need to cook it for a while. Like don't just slightly cook it.
Sure.
Yeah, a little crust. Put the butter and then on top of
I'm good.
Cool. I don't know. Come on now. What is a honey pack?
I'm about to say, damn.
What's a honey pack?
Why does she know?
I was hoping that didn't say what I thought. Wait, why are my kids more advanced than me when it comes to like sexual culture? What is it? What is it? Tell me now. Tell me now. What is a honey pack? What is a honey pack? I don't know what the honey pack is. I can't get the joke, so I know what honey pack is.
Honey pack is like a rhino.
Oh, rhino? Oh, like, you know, not Viagra, but kind of? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess I'm super green, y'all. I'm so sorry for being that way, but it is what it is. Welcome. Okay, so listen, I'm so sorry about that little interlude, but you know, we had to make some decisions here. I first off, love yourself. Know that you're beautiful. Know that you're wonderful. So a honey pack is a rhino pill? It's the gas station pill on 10? Oh, wow. Look at that. What just showed itself to me? The Emperor. I love it, first off. Oh, no. Where are you guys? Oh, my goodness. Did you guys disappear? Oh, my God. Did I disappear? How did I do that?
Oh, you press the button, he's like, all right.
I realized that the other day I did a whole video without being on camera. I thought I was in camera like a motherfucker. You didn't say nothing. You didn't say you was off camera or nothing. You just. Okay. So anyway, the Emperor comes out. So now we have the Emperor and the Empress. There's so many ways in which we can take this energy. The counterparts, one, union between the two, the coming together, or you can also unite that within yourself. And this means balance. But this also means power. Stepping into your power, receiving your power, accepting your power, knowing your power. Okay? Knowing is important too, because sometimes I think our ultimate concern has been knowing our power, because we've been asking permission from a group of people who don't even fucking belong here. Okay? From a group of people who stole our shit, we've been asking them permission for our own shit back. How many people are gonna come and rob you and you're gonna ask them permission for your shit back and they're gonna give it back to you? No, you gotta go take your shit back, bitch. That's what you gotta do. Okay, so we taking shit back from here on out. I don't know what y'all talking about, but and look, and this is why it's so important for us to be clear and to stay tapped in to our spiritual side, is because, listen, they're going to try to teach you away from your spiritual side. That's why they get rid of our spiritual leaders. When they put Rashad Jamal in jail, I was like, oh no, this is real. They pay attention. So I know they're paying attention to me. I know they're doing that. When they put Rashad Jamal in jail because he was teaching you the truth about yourself, just go look Rashad Jamal up. Go on Facebook, go find Rashad Jamal. Go on Instagram and YouTube, go find Rashad Jamal. Bro, he was getting deep in that shit. Like I'm telling you, when he was, and I'll tell you how deep he was getting. Oh, he was getting deep. He was getting so deep, they threw a charge on him and threw his ass in jail. Same shit they did to the Black Panthers back in the day. And the reality of the fact is that the fact that we are not consistently seeing this, that we're not seeing this and recognizing that that's what it is the fucked up part. So when my girl said today, she was like, no, because we too content. She was right. And now I got to have to wake you motherfuckers up because y'all ain't seeing it. You're not hearing it. Rashad Jamal should not be in jail right now. Promise you that. No way. Rashad Jamal should not be in jail. Period. Okay. He should not be in jail. Period. So the fact that he's in jail lets me know that these motherfuckers are still paying attention. And they want you to feel less than. And furthermore, this whole election lets you know that they want you to feel a certain way. Doesn't make it true because they want that though. They're just betting on and hoping that all the propaganda they put out, all the leaders that they took out of the scene, that you're not going to be able to see it. Now the difference is, it's December 28th, and we in the age of Aquarius now, right? The age of Aquarius is ushering itself in. So what that does mean is that now you're going to start looking at things differently. You're going to start thinking differently. You're going to start, wait a minute, what the fuck? You're going to start questioning shit. You're going to start using your intelligence a little bit more. You're going to start, you're not gonna just fall for the banana in the tailpipe no more. And that's what happens with the age of Aquarius because that's how Aquarius works. Hold on. Because what you just did right there, I didn't like that. Why did you do that? I'll tell you now, my favorite question was why when I was in school. Especially in algebra. I remember having my teacher in 6th grade, she used to get so annoyed with me. But why? Because if you understand this shit and you trying to teach me this shit, and if it don't make sense to me, why? Explain it. So she used to get so annoyed with me. But the reality is, if you can't explain why, then why the fuck should I even use this shit? You need to explain why. Because some of us is not going to just go with it because everybody else in the world is doing it. Some of us is going to look at you and be like, that don't make no sense. Or, I'm sorry, something there is a little off. Let me question this a little further. And I'm not saying that that's attached to the algebra at all, but in reality, we was all in algebra like, what the fuck is this X here for? Like, why the fuck does this make sense? I get it. There are variables in life. There are variables as far as it relates to probabilities and how things can go, right? Like, I get that now, but also at the same time, why? For 12 to 26 years, they teach you that yourself. I didn't get that same time period that a lot of y'all got, though. Along with me being an Aquarius, and also along with my mom, somehow, being my mama, okay? Trying to keep me out of trouble. I think that's what it was. Because at some point, she was trying to keep me out of trouble, right? She's like, okay, well, goddamn it, you're going to be a homeschool, you know? I don't think my mother knew that she would be, leading me down a pathway to be self-taught, self-learned, self-understanding, self-actualized in life. So pretty much everything I do is self-actualized. I don't do a lot of things that have to do with, somebody have to told me to do it. Somebody has to teach me to do it. Somebody has to show me how to do it. This and that. I self-actualize in a way that I figure it out myself. Period. So that means sometimes that does mean that it takes me a little bit longer sometimes. Only on certain stuff. But I think the importance of that, though, is that it shows me the difference in the balance between those who have been indoctrinated into the school system their whole lives versus me who has not been indoctrinated into the school system my whole life. And I see a very clear difference in that a lot of times. There are a couple that don't, but you know, there's balances. How do we use that information? Like this. I think it's important for you guys to recognize that sometimes it's more about creating what you need as opposed to begging someone else to give it to you. You might have to sit on that thought for a second, and that's fine. I'll let you have a moment. Go ahead, have a moment. Let's think about that for a second. How did it resonate with you for real? Yeah. For some of you, you might be like, "Oh, I feel that. Like I fucks with that." For some of you, might be that's a little issue. Like it might cause you a little stir up in the inside. It might make you feel some kind of way. Like this. That's not realistic. Some of y'all might feel like that, but in reality, think about what I'm saying. Did you know that the WIC program that is used by many millions of Americans across the United States of America was actually created by the Black Panther Party? Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? Your government wasn't trying to do shit for you. It was the Black community who created these programs, and then the government took those ideas and capitalized upon them. They took credit for it. And that's what they know for doing. Jack Daniels took credit for a Black man's job. Pearl Mill, which used to be Aunt Jemima, took credit for a black woman's work.
Colonel Sanders.
AFC. A lot of these great companies and organizations that you guys see on a regular basis, they were actually created by the mind of a Black woman or a Black man. And they just took and put a white name on it. Y'all already know, we call it, a couple years ago, we was calling it cultural appropriation. Y'all remember? Cultural appropriation. That's what we called it a couple years ago. In reality, it's literally stealing the intellectual property of the actual creator. That's what it's called. It's called plagiarism. Y'all see it all the time. Don't pretend that you don't know what I'm saying. So, what are you gonna do about that? I just want to know. I'm gonna move on. I need to have a conversation with y'all. I think honestly, every day I'm gonna have some level of a conversation with y'all that's just talking to your soul. Just a little bit. That's just talking to you on a deeper level, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And you might get annoyed sometimes. I get it. I understand. Because I'm challenging you to think further. I'm challenging you to think more about you, which you have not been taught to think about you. You've been taught to think about everybody else. What's the fulfillment of that? Is it truly fulfilling to see someone else capitalize off of your work? To become rich, to become famous off of your work? I don't care how much you argue with me, you can argue with your mom on that one. But I'm not here to fight with you. I'm here to let you know how great you are. Step into your greatness. Because you have an abundance of it. You have so much of it. There's so much of it in you. There's so much creation in you. There's so many ideas in you. There's so much tenacity in you. And honestly, when I see the Carla, bro, let me just cover her up for a second. Because let's just talk about the masculine energy for a second. Let's just talk about it. Let me tell you something. When you see a masculine who truly does have like tenacity and ambition and just like this like power about themselves, aren't they sexy? Bitch, don't lie. Bitch, don't lie. Do not lie. Don't lie. And I know you lying because you've been fighting another bitch down the street about this same nigga. Now don't play with me. Okay? Now many of those men have been dumbed down, okay, because they had a whole fucking organization putting estrogen in the water to make your men more feminine. Oh no, that was a whole campaign. They had a whole group of men dressing up, going on TV and dressing up in dresses and wigs to effeminize or to emasculate your men. Oh no, that was a part of the campaign. That was a part of the agenda. I want y'all to know that. Yes, it was. Yeah, and along with the estrogen in the water. There was a campaign, we had a period of time where it was like no pain, no gain type stuff, where it was like a boys don't cry. The reason for that was to super toxic masculinate these people to the point where it breaks you. Pay attention to what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is some real shit. And I wish that if you would like to join in, click that link. Come on and join in and talk to me about this. But there's a group of men who were taught no pain, no gain. You can't cry. Men don't cry. Men don't have tears. Men don't have feelings. Men don't have emotions. But what that did was that overstimulated the masculine energy in a masculine vibration in a harmful, toxic way. And what do you do when you are over on anything? You burn out. So some men burnt out on over toxicity. Some men burnt out on femininity, and now we left with the rummage, the roughage of all of this shit. But let me say this: when you see a man though who's got that balance, we see a man who's got that like masculineness to him, but still got that like that understanding and that ability to like be soft with his woman. You know, it's just like, oh, it's something in the sweet spot about that. I ain't gonna lie. That's why you bitches be out here fighting by niggas. I'm telling you, something in that nigga that got y'all fighting. Trust me. Okay. So I wanted to say that because I don't want y'all to feel like, because there's been a couple conversations that we've had where it's like men this and men that, and I get it, but there's a balance with all of this. Like, understand when I talk about things, sometimes I might be talking in a polarized setting, and then other times I'm able to go and find a balance between that. And I want you guys to know that there are the masculine energy is absolutely necessary. Not masculine energy from women, but masculine energy from a man who is supposed to embody that energy. His body, his makeup, his mindset, everything about him was supposed to embody the masculine energy. That's why women is tired, because we not made up like we not made like that. Like, in reality, like, girl, let me tell you, I want to go get my nails today, and I know y'all keep seeing it because I'm flashing. I'm doing this because it just feels good. Like, I want to go get my nails today, girl, and she gave me the most. I decided to get the most basic set ever, but she went off on this shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm just feeling so much more, just like, oh, I'm just feeling so much more pretty, you know. And it's simple shit. But ultimately, the feminine embodies that feminine, and the masculine embodies that masculine. Like, when you got that man that just do something to set something off inside you, I'm letting you know this now. Like, you can argue with your mom, but that's why you and the girl next door is arguing about the same man. Okay, you and the girl next door is arguing about the same man. Because there's certain energies within him that draws you to him. Now, only thing that we really got to understand is that even though some of these men embody some of these energies, it's probably in them, but they don't know how to use. They don't know how to like properly guide. It's not properly guided. So some of them may still have some level of immaturity in this way, some insecurity in this way, some energies in which they have to learn how to evolve from. and they haven't fully like matured. So that kind of makes it terrible because now you and another bitch across the hall is fighting. Basically, like, you know what I mean? Like, my involved man is not having me on this in these types of situations where I'm all stressed the fuck out. Like, my involved man is not having me stressed out, period. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So what I'm saying is that there are some men that have they got the gene, but they have not fully evolved in order to understand how to make it work within a union and a connection and a commitment with somebody. And so that's what we're seeing here. What we're seeing is either super femininized men who have fallen into the agenda completely, or we're seeing men who have the energy or the vibe. They got that it quality, but they don't know how to grow it. They don't know how to grow that seed. They don't know how to expand upon that. They don't know how to evolve that. They don't know how to like transmute the negativity out of them so that they can actually use all of the power that they have in their being to just be this great ass man. And sometimes as women, we're too fucking frustrated, honestly. Because I'm doing too goddamn much. You shouldn't be having me doing this, that, and that, and this, and this, and this, and you asking for more? Oh, my goodness. I think I'm just tired. So I know a lot of women are tired. And so when I have these conversations, I want you guys to understand, first off, I'm not a man basher. I ain't never been that. Because as long as my men love and respect me, I'm going to love and respect you. But when you get on the other side, that's what we going. So I'm going to meet you where you at. Okay? I'm going to meet you where you at. I want you guys to know that there is an agenda on our men. There has been. Most of them are in jail. You know what I mean? Like, I won't say most of them, but a lot of them are in jail. And some of them were in jail for shit like marijuana, which they can come on fucking Facebook and do a fucking Facebook campaign talking about marijuana is not bad. Bitch, you don't know how upset I was when I saw that campaign. You got me fucked up. And you think you're going to lock our men up in jail for marijuana and then come out 10 years later talking about marijuana is not bad? Are you fucking serious? Reparations, bitch. There's so many levels of repayment that are due. That in all honesty, they have to continue with the rhetoric. They have to continue with the bullshit because they know they already bankrupt. They're gonna be in the ground. Because in reality, let's talk some gangster shit real quick. If somebody owe you some money and they'll pay you back, and you need that, well, I guess you're gonna end up in the ground. So these motherfuckers will end up in the ground for having to pay us what they really owe us. Matter of fact, I don't even know if we want to plant the soil with them. We need to release their ass into the space. Release their ass into space, into the ethers. Because if I put you in the soil, I don't want that type of energy back in my soil. I don't want my soil. I don't want my soil muddied up and murkied up with that type of energy. I don't want hateful energy in my soil. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't grow my healthy plants that I'm going to put in my body with terrible bones. I can't do that. Let me shut up. At this point, I'm done. But I wanted to share that with y'all. Hopefully, y'all understand what I'm saying. If you don't, let's go for it. What I do know is this. At some point or another, you for yourself are going to have to realize the value that you have without fighting with someone else about it, right? Like, I don't need to fight with you about my value. For a few years, there was a whole bunch of women that were going to like Kevin Samuels and like Fresh and Fit and fighting with these men about what they think about themselves. It's like, bitch, I don't need to go on that nigga show for me to know how I feel about me. It ain't never a case. It ain't never a case where I gotta argue about another bitch, about what I bring to the table, or about what I feel about me, or what I really am. That's the part y'all was fucking up at. Y'all was sitting at these tables with these motherfuckers who was looking at you like you was a question mark. Okay? That's some real shit. Listen, y'all was sitting at the table with motherfuckers who was questioning you before you got there. That's where you fucked up. I'm not sitting at no motherfucking table with nobody who's gonna sit there and look at me in my face and try to tell me that I'm not what I am. Excuse me? I don't give a fuck if I ain't what I was when I was 16 size-wise, bitch. You don't understand what goes into me being a woman. Like, stop playing, right? The thing is, you have to have that value for yourself. So when I ask you the question, who's greater than you, what's your answer? It should be nobody. When I ask you the question, who's greater than you, it should be nobody. And I don't care what you look like, how you know, like, what's your size, all the shit like that. Like, these people want to try to pretend like that is what brings the value of a person, but it's not. It's what's up here, what's in here. Those are the things that really matter. What's in your heart and what's in your spirit. But you let somebody else tell you, you sit at the table in front of somebody else who you think has more value than you, and you let them tell you, and you ain't got no fucking value. Meanwhile, these people are arguing with all sorts of people all day, every day, all throughout the week on some bullshit ass cliff notes. You a cliff note. That's what you are. You a fucking cliff note, which means that nobody actually reads you unless they really want to know all the details about this history of this topic and subject. If you're a fucking cliff note, bitch, you only get read if somebody's that interested to know. And a lot of people ain't that interested to know because most people don't even read the fucking book. So let's get real. You're a fucking cliff note. You gotta value yourself. And never sit at a table with somebody who's questioning your value. Think I'm gonna sit at the table with somebody who's telling me I should question myself? Why would I do that? Just looking at you like you looking at me, goddammit. Why the fuck would I sit at the table with somebody who thinks that I should question myself? First off, you coming into conversation fucked up to begin with. And I know that everything you want to mention is all superficial bullshit. All right, y'all. I got the Empress card here twice. We got a lot of wands here with the Ace of Wands, Son of Wands, King of Wands. Listen, y'all. I think I'm done from here. What I know is that there are a lot of abundance here, but it's all about how you decide to use the energy and shift and form it for yourself. You have the opportunities here. Fulfillment is here. We have you working through whatever challenging energies that you have present for you, right? Because everybody's different. And this is a collective read. So there are different challenges that we all have. How are you going to triumph over those is the question. Once more, the question is, who's greater than you? And I hope you say nobody. And I hope you start believing that. I hope you do believe that. Because when you believe that, then you see the creation that you can create. And about what's going on next door, that ain't my business. All right, I'm done. I feel like enough life has been spoken. The Empress card is here twice. Beautiful. Sometimes you have to put in the work, but I only suggest you put in the work once you've gotten yourself into alignment. Once you're aware of who's greater than you, once you're aware of that, once you're aware of the I am, okay? And listen, I watched something the other day and it made a lot of sense and it was real. Like it was about, like sometimes you feel really, really, really strongly and deeply. And when you feel really, really strongly and deeply, sometimes it's a lot more difficult to think yourself into a better state of being. So let's talk about this. If you are somebody that truly feels very deeply, you're going to benefit from subliminals for sure. Subliminals you would benefit from, but I think even some, and not ancestral, but astral. I think for those of you who are like truly deeply feeling people and you're like, you feel so deeply that it's difficult to just change your own mind, you've got to go into your astral, and there is some level of like, because you gotta work on those emotions. So if you're somebody who feels so deeply that no matter what you think, you can't change how you feel, like okay, so let's just say you're feeling something, but what you feel is not really it's not what the world sees of you, right? So maybe you feel something deeply, but what you feel deeply, it could be truth to it, but it's not really what the world actually sees of you. Well, let me rephrase this because this is coming off a little interesting. Ultimately, when it comes to manifestation and when it comes to creation in life, how we feel and how we think come together to create the life we live. But we must understand the feelings and the thoughts come together to create what we believe, right? What we believe ultimately. So if you're somebody that is like highly, deeply intuitively, emotionally intuitive, like emotionally, like you feel very deeply. First off, you're an empath. Second off, you are most likely highly psychic and highly intuitive in those ways. But also, I do feel that there's a need for you to do some level of emotional healing of the emotional body. Okay, I feel like there's a little bit of emotional body healing that might be needed. And then as it relates to you still being able to manifest positive, good things in your life, if you feel very deeply, if you're somebody that feels very deeply and long and strong, I'm trying to discover how that would be because I believe, honestly, I believe that I'm similar to that in some ways. Not always, but in some ways, I'm very much that person that thinks and feels very deeply, but not all the time. Though I'm not going to sit here and pretend with that. I won't say that overall that's who I am, but I will say that sometimes that's who I am. In those cases, I feel like it's necessary for you to be able to transmute how you feel versus what you think. So you're somebody that might need a balance between your thoughts and your emotions, and you need to learn how to transmute those two things. Now, how you would go about doing that is really just processing in the mind. You allowing your mind. So if you're somebody that thinks, that feels very deeply, your balance needs to be your mind, which means that you've got to think about how you're feeling and at least consider it in a thought before you act or before you become impulsive. And by doing that, that allows you to at least think about it. It comes to your mind, and then you make a determination on it in a more balanced way. So I think it's just a matter of that. Now, sometimes your emotions are your emotions, or as far as your intuitions, rather. Your intuition is things that you pick up on, but I want you to rationalize it with your mind. That's how. Rationalize it with your mind at least. And then once you've rationalized it with your mind, confirm it. Your feelings and your thoughts are going to confirm one another. You need to confirm what you feel and what you think. So think it through. So if you feel something deeply, like you feel like this nigga's trying to set me up, think about it then. Okay, so think about it. Why do I think this person's trying to set me up? What made me think that this person's trying to set me up? Well, they did this, they did that, and I just feel it. Boom. Okay. So I think if you're somebody that feels very deeply, I want you to start rationalizing your feelings, deep feelings, with your thought. Not all the time. Sometimes it's going to be straight, purely, this is the vibe that I'm getting. We're going to go with that. But I want you to think about that, because when it relates to you feeling very deeply and also negatively manifesting versus positively manifesting, you got to understand that that's the issue. If somebody in your past came to you and talked to you and told you how bullshit you are, how ain't shit you is, how much you're not worth anything, then that's what you have in your belief system. And so your feelings are going based upon that energetic frequency. So you have to it's almost like you have to recalibrate your frequency in order to go in this other direction that does benefit you, right? And so that's the reason why I want you guys to think about that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video. Definitely smash the like button. I might come back live again. It just depends. We'll see. I might do another live. Let me go ahead and kind of check some stats or stuff, check some background information and see what's going on around the vibes and see if I come back. But I want to thank you again. And I hope that you have a